Looks like anybody came here to see me.
I did.
I think they came here to see Paul. How's Paul?
Doing good. Long day. Get ready to go racing though. It's gonna be a good day.
It's barely even begun to be a long day yet. It's going to be a long day and a long night.
It's gonna be a long night. Yeah, these night races are cool. We, not a whole lot going on a Saturday morning for us. A lot of texting back and forth with the crew chief and trying to figure out a little strategy. But we make up for it on Fridays. Fridays are extremely busy, and I get to rest up a little bit this morning and get ready to go at, I think, 7:30 is green flag.
One thing that did happen this morning was all the cars got tacked pre-race and post-qualifying tech.
How'd that go for everybody? I haven't heard.
It went well for you.
For me, it did. I know that.
It did not go well for Daniel Suarez. It did not go well for David Reagan. We'll talk to him about that in a little bit. A couple of other guys, Kyle Busch is going to the back because they had to fix the damage that he did on the qualifying.
Well, it sounds like we're moving up 3 spots. Well, 2 spots.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
How's the race go?
It's decent. We had 2 practices yesterday, and then qualifying. Qualifying didn't go very well. Our race trim practices went pretty well, I thought. First practice was really good. Maybe took a little step back in second practice, but we kind of know what we did and know how to adjust for that. So we're starting 21st, and now it sounds like we're starting 19th. So even better. Just got to make some good adjustments and play the strategy and when to put tires on and all that stuff.
If anybody has a question for Paul or any of our guests here coming up in the next hour or so, Jasmine is out here with the microphone. If you have a question, just raise your hand up high and Jasmine will come to you right here in the front. Yes, sir.
Now that you moved from RCR to Wood Brothers, what is your outlook at both of them? Which one did you prefer better at this point in time?
Well, I'm extremely happy where I'm at right now. Everybody at Wood Brothers Racing, great people, great alliance with Team Penske, so we share a lot of information. Love everybody at RCR too. I had 7 great years there. Richard Childress is still a good friend of mine. We actually went hunting 2 weeks ago together, so we still have a good relationship, but very happy where I'm at. It's a good group, and we're building for the future. This is our first year together, obviously. It's a new group of people kind of working together, so this year was kind of a learning curve. And everything we're doing right now, because we're not in the playoffs, is to build and grow for next year.
Just for the record, when you go hunting with Richard Childress, you don't walk out into his backyard, you don't sit down under a tree, right? He goes hunting.
Yeah, he's pretty hardcore. Everybody's heard the stories about Richard and hunting, and I grew up hunting with my brothers. Really got into it though when I went to RCR because he opened up a lot of opportunities for me to go to some cool places. What we did just a couple weeks ago was dove hunting after Darlington, and it's kind of the start of the hunting season for the year, for the fall, and we always had a good time.
Yes, sir, right here.
Yeah, I like your watch, man. We kind of got the same thing going on.
Yeah, a little G-Shock.
Yeah.
Yes.
You look pretty swole, man. How much can you bench?
How much can I bench? I don't know.
Oh, a gun show? Come on.
I don't. My sleeves are too small. I haven't maxed out on a bench for 10 years probably, but when I did that, I think 250 twice, something like that. So nothing crazy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Paul, tell me, what's it like to get into an iconic race car like the 21? What's the history? What's the feeling? How do you feel when the first time you got into it?
Yeah, I mean, the off season, getting to know everybody, getting to know Eddie and Len and Kim Hall and Terry Hall and Mr. Leonard Wood and Mr. Glenn and Miss Bernice, great people. It really hit home when I think it was right before Christmas probably when we had a show car made up with my name above the door of the red and white Motorcraft quick lane Ford. So that's when he kind of punched you right in the face and was like, man, this is pretty cool.
I mean, you just think back at the roster of drivers that have driven that iconic number 21 for the Wood Brothers, and it's like, man, if you even get to be involved in that club, that's a good place to be.
Yeah, for sure. They've been around since 1950, I believe. So crazy history. Mr. Leonard still comes to the racetrack about every other race. He was out in Las Vegas last week, made the trip through the hurricane to go out to Las Vegas. I'm not sure, I haven't seen him here today, but it would be really surprising if he's not here. It's his birthday today. I don't know if that means he'll be here or not. He might be out partying somewhere,
Hey,
so we'll
give
see.
you a reason to win.
Yeah, that's right. He's they're great people, though. Really cool.
I hope I have happy as energy when I'm happy as age.
He's crazy. I mean, I went to the shop. It was after maybe Sonoma. It was a West Coast race. Pretty recent. I think it was Sonoma. I went to the shop on Monday. I had some stuff I had to sign, and there's nobody at the shop except for Leonard. And Leonard was in the back. He's got like his own little room, basically like a workbench cubicle, and he's out there working on. I think that day he was working on an RC car for Danny Stockman, who's a crew chief at RCR. But he's always fabricating stuff. He built a go-kart from scratch with the carbon fiber body. I mean, all sorts of stuff. And once he got that thing up and running, I came over to the shop and watched him do burnouts in the parking lot. So, and of course, it's built just for him. Nobody else can fit in it. Just Leonard.
Well, Leonard is like 6 feet tall and he weighs 102 pounds, so nobody else is going to ride.
No, yeah, he's got to be taller than he's taller than I am, I think. I'm 6 foot, so but yeah, he's real thin, and he gets in there. His knees are up above the steering wheel, and big. It's fun.
Right over here, yes, sir.
Hey Paul, I've been coming to the racetrack for years, but I don't really have a driver, so why would I pick you as my driver to root for?
You didn't know he pays people, right? $100 a week. Yeah.
I'm not here to alter anybody's opinion of me, but if you like me, go for it, and if you don't, nothing I can do about that. So come on the team.
Not a jump up and down in front of the cameras. Hey, look at me, guy. You know, doesn't yell and scream and get mad at people. Just goes out and does his job every single week. Kind of like a lot of you guys, right? Yeah. I think we sold him right there.
There we go.
I'm a better salesman than you are. That's all there is to it.
I get dizzy driving in circles.
Way in the back there. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, who was your favorite driver that you looked up to when you were growing up?
A lot of them. I grew up I really got into racing kind of late 80s and throughout the 90s. The Unser family, Al Sr., Al Jr., big race. I was a big race fan, but I was also a big fan of those guys. Mark Martin, I was a huge Mark Martin fan. Obviously Dale Earnhardt, you had to respect Dale Earnhardt for what he did, but Mark Martin, it seemed like Mark finished second to Dale every other year in the championship, so I was always pulling for him to pull one off.
With your dad's history, decades and decades and decades of IndyCar involvement, did you grow up thinking you wanted to be an open wheel guy, or was NASCAR the goal?
I just wanted to race. I started racing when I was 8 years old in go-karts, road courses. That's what was up in Wisconsin. And then when I turned, I think it was 16, well, in the wintertime, before that, we'd ice race. So we'd go-kart race in the summer, we'd ice race in the wintertime. Then when I turned 16, I started running Legends cars on oval tracks. That's my first real oval experience. And then that kind of jumped to late models. And Wisconsin's a great state for late model racing. It's got a track every 2 hours that runs weekly. You can run basically, you can definitely run 6 nights a week up there, and sometimes they'll run 7 nights a week on a Monday for a special. So really hotbed for racing.
Who's